Hey, Big Geeks. As beaders, sometimes we make things a little bit harder than what they should be. And sometimes it helps just to go back to the basics. We got these beautiful noodles, copper textured noodles in the shop this week. And I thought they were really, really pretty, but everyone was like, well, what do I do with them? What do I do with them? They were trying to come up with some really wild, crazy thing to do with them. So, I said, sometimes we just have to go back to the basics. So, I used the noodles and a couple of other little findings and beads to make a really fun pair of long dangly earrings. So, to make the earrings, what you have to have is you have to have 2 copper noodles. And you can buy these at our store. We sell them on a strand. There's 4 on a strand for $3. Or you can find these on our website at offthebeadedpathbeadstore.com. I'm going to use 4 top drilled 6mm Swarovski crystals. I'm using just a few pieces of chain. Just left over from extra projects. You can use pretty much whatever kind of chain you would like. I will tell you though that the measurements, I did about 1 inch on one piece, and then I did about 3/8 on the other piece. So that'll give you an idea of the lengths that I used. You need 4 copper jump rings, 2 small copper crimp tubes, a pair of copper ear hooks, and last but not least, I found some really neat, pretty copper, they're called scroll beads. They're made by Tiara Cast. We carry these at our store, or you can use whatever kind of bead you like. But I've already put a bead and then did my head pin. If you don't know how to finish off your loops for head pins, be sure and check out some of our other videos that have that on it. Now, I'm also going to use illusion cord. Illusion cord is like a fishing wire, but this is a thin version of it so that you won't see our wire. Now, if you want to, you can also use copper, but it's completely up to you. So, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little piece that I've already put on my head pin, and I'm going to thread it onto one of my ends of illusion cord so that when I drop it, it drops down to the center. I'm going to put my ends together, and then I'm going to take one of my copper noodles, and I'm going to thread both ends through the noodle. And we'll pull it down. And you can leave a little bit of length there if you'd like, or you can pull your bead all the way up to the noodle. It's completely up to you. I personally like it to go all the way up to the noodle. Okay, now what I'll do is I'm going to thread on one of my crimp tubes, and I'll take my 2 ends and I'll come back through the crimp tube again. Now, before I pull, I'm going to use my round nose pliers, and I'm going to put them inside the loop, then I will pull. Now, depending on where you put them on your pliers will depend on the size of loop you get. But it's good to put the bead or your pliers into that loop so that you get a good consistent loop there. And then once I've got the size loop I want, I'll just take my flat pliers and I'm just going to flatten that crimp. And trim my wire. Okay, so that gives you your noodle piece finished. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be using my jump rings and my 6mm top drill beads. And I'm going to open the jump ring. Now, I'm using about a 6mm 20 gauge jump ring. You want something small enough that will easily fit inside the hole of your top drill bead. Then I'm going to attach my little piece of chain. Make sure you get that jump ring good and closed. And then once I've got that one done, I'll open up my second jump ring. I'll thread on another top drilled jet. And this time, I'm going to thread on my long piece of chain. And I'll close that one, making sure, again, you get that good and closed. Now, at this point, I'm ready for my ear hooks. So I'm going to open up an ear hook. I'm going to thread on my small length of chain first, my longer piece, and then my noodle. And I will then close the earring hook so that when I get it done, I now have my earring. So as you can tell, these are really, really simple and fun earrings to make, and they're inexpensive to make. So all you would do is repeat for the second one, and you'd have a beautiful pair of earrings. To check out any of these supplies, see offthebeadedpathbeadstore.com. Give us a call at 828-245-0306, or stop by our store, which is located at 120 West Trade Street in Forest City. Otherwise, if you're not in the United States, go out and support your local bead shop.